All right, it is officially that time of the week again, which means that we are back with another update. Specifically today is the animal update. Now, of course, right now I am inside of the test server. It is give or take about 4 hours before the update actually comes out. So there is certain things that are kind of still being worked on. Like, for example, there's an NPC standing over here now, which technically does absolutely nothing as of the time that I'm recording, because he literally just got added about 25 seconds ago. But the core mechanics of this entire update, to my knowledge, is completed. So let's give you guys the quick rundown. For starters, this update takes place in the first sea as well as the second sea. As you can see over here, inside of the first sea, there is a limited time bestiary, which provides you with a total of 10 fish. Some of these are absolutely ridiculous, like the cluckfin or the sea cow. And of course, we can't miss the piranha monk. Now, to sort of go ahead and run through these really quickly, you could slow down the video if you want or pause it. I'm going to click on them individually so you can see what their bait is in case you're interested in going ahead and, catching any specific one of these. But basically, this bestiary will be available for the next 14 days. In case for some reason you're not good at math, that is for the next 2 weeks. So that gives plenty of time for everyone to go ahead and grab both of these limited bestiaries. Because yes, there technically is 3 of them if you want to be specific, but the other 2 are in the second sea. Now, some of you may be wondering where exactly in the first sea do we go ahead and catch these animal fish? That is where things get a little bit tricky. The way that this is handled is pretty much the exact same as like any other random pool in the game. A pop-up will eventually come up in the chat and on your screen that says an animal pool has spawned. You just basically got to keep a lookout for that. Last time that it spawned for me, it was at Terrapin. I'll give it a few minutes here to see if we can get one to spawn, and I'll show you what that's going to look like. Then we'll move on to the second sea, where it gets a tad bit more complex, I guess. All right, so it's actually been quite some time now since the last time that I recorded. I've been trying to get an animal pool to spawn, and I was just informed that they're not spawning right now inside of the test server. So I've literally been waiting for nothing. Either way, the point is that I'm sure you guys get it. Just like how it popped up on the top right here saying Scylla, it'll say that an animal pool spawned. You just make your way over to wherever it said, and it's very, very hard to miss. But now let's move into the really interesting one, which is going to be over at C2. All right, so we've gone ahead and arrived to the second sea. And as I mentioned before, you'll probably notice that over here, there is 2 limited time bestiaries now. The first one is handled the exact same way as the first sea. The only difference here is that there isn't 10 brand new fish. Instead, there is 9 of them. I'll go ahead and again, click through them really quickly so you can see what the individual baits are. If you need to, go ahead and pause the video on the specific one that you are looking for. Some of the familiar ones here are obviously going to be our crabbit, as well as the cappy bass, which is what I thought was a capybara goldfish. Turns out to not be that. And then there's, really kind of crazy. Yo, this is kind of funny. Is this like the closest to Mila that we're ever going to get? Because no one has been able to discover the Mila rod quest or the Mila quest. Either way, as I was mentioning, this one will spawn very similar to the first sea one. It'll just be a random pool that'll spawn somewhere in the second sea. You find the pool, you go fish at it, and you can complete this bestiary. The one that's a little bit more complex is the Octophant. This is the one that I went ahead and uploaded a video about yesterday where I told you guys that it's a boss. Technically speaking, it isn't a boss, but it sort of is. This one I will be able to show you guys and explain a little bit more, but it has sort of like the cooler looking fish, like the shrimpanzee, as well as, of course, the orcanda. I don't even know how to pronounce that. The orca panda and a slurp floth. That looks horrid. Oh my God. Either way, the trick here to spawn the Octophant is going to be to spam Smokescreen as well as Tempest. Technically speaking, you don't need to do exactly that, but it's basically a 20% chance every single time that rain starts. So in other words, very, very similar to like a whale migration. In my case, I'm just going to go ahead and spam a bunch of these until I go ahead and get it to spawn. With it being a 20% chance, it shouldn't really take that long. But then again, I also have incredibly terrible luck, so this also could go very bad. There we go. An elephant octopus has been spotted near Lush Grove. That is the pop-up that you will go ahead and get in the chat. Octopus hunt, an elephant octopus has been spotted near Lush Grove. I do want to go ahead and point out that it pretty much only spawns near Lush Grove. So my suggestion is if you are planning to farm for this, just stay in that area. All right, so as soon as you arrive here, you will see this where it says unfishable, a bubble health 25 out of 25. It's rather simple. Just basically go ahead and fish here. Every single time that you catch a fish, his health will go down. Now, obviously, while you're fishing here, you are also obtaining some of the fish from the Octophant bestiary. So let's go ahead and knock down his health here really quick. And in the meantime, let's check out some of these negative progressions. So far, the worst I've seen is negative 45%, which is the slurp floth. I'm kind of curious as to what the negative progression is going to be on the Octophant. Ooh, negative 75% for the flam angler. Negative 90% for the orca panda. I don't even know how to say that. So wait, if the orca panda is negative 90%, how much is the Octophant going to be? I guess we're about to find out right now. I'm pretty sure it's going to end up being 95%. But anyways, one more to go. Let's see here. There it is right there. Let's go ahead and catch this big guy right here. He is plus 15%. Oh, wait, it isn't a guaranteed catch. So you got to just keep attempting until you hopefully get him. Well, that's kind of interesting, especially since technically only one person is going to be able to catch him. Oh, there it is right there. Negative 5%. Wait, what? Negative 5%? I'm going to say that that's probably going to change by the time that you guys get the update, because negative 5% for the Octophant is kind of crazy, bro. Like, that literally makes no sense. But anyways, man, there he is right there. Honestly, pretty cool looking fish. A lot of these are actually fairly cool. Oh my god, that looks even more morbid than how it looks in the bestiary. I am actually terrified of this thing. But yeah, man, some of these are actually really cool looking, very, very funny. I mean, look at this thing. Honestly, out of all of them, I guess this is probably my favorite one. I don't know why. Maybe it's because I'm from Miami that I like flamingos. But either way, there is obviously one other thing that we need to go over, which we leave always for the end of the video, and that is the shop stuff. Now, for starters, we do have a new limited time boat like they do every single update, being the Lion's Fury. This is the one that I've been using throughout the entire video. Speed on this is 235, steering 80, acceleration 0.7. Nothing really too crazy. Also isn't really the craziest looking boat, and it is technically only a two-seater, so I guess you could say it's kind of like a reskin jet ski. Aside from that, there also is the brand new bundle called Elephant's Wrath. Inside of here, you get the SS Tuskhorn boat, a hippo lantern, and 64x luck for 1 hour. Stats on this boat are 200 speed, 40 steering, and 0.6 acceleration. This is what the boat looks like right here. From what I can tell, there is a total of 3 seats, so you have one over here, one over here, and then of course the driver's seat in the back. Nothing really too crazy about this one. It is honestly probably better looking than the Lion's Fury for a cheaper price. So yeah, take that as you will. I'm not here to monitor what you spend your money on, but that's what they look like. Next up, we have our 3 custom skins that are available here. We've got ourselves a new Trident rod skin called Golden Roar. This is what that looks like right here. Actually a pretty cool looking rod, to be honest. I mean, nobody really uses the Trident, at least not that I know of. I think actually some people use it in the second sea, so maybe this might be a pretty cool skin. It's got a nice little lion head in the middle. Next up, we have a new one for the Great Dreamer rod. This one is called the Silverback Dreamer. I'm sure you already guessed it. This one has a silverback gorilla on it, and again, it's actually a pretty cool looking one. Obviously, all of these rod skins are kind of like an acquired taste. If you're into the whole entire what's that, blade ball skin, then this is right down your alley. But if you're more into, like, you know, the casual stuff, then these are not really for you. Finally, we have the big boy skin, which is usually the one that a lot of people really want, and that is for the ethereal prism rod, which is an interesting choice. This one is called the Celestial Prism Heart. Not entirely sure how this fits in with the entire theming of animals, but I will say this looks absolutely incredible. But yeah, overall, that's pretty much everything inside of the shop. I did forget to sort of show the bait for every individual one of the fish inside of the Octophant, so I'm gonna kind of scroll through these really quickly. If you want to just, you know, pause the video, take a look at it. Octophant is golden worm, so that's probably the most important one that a lot of people want to know about. And I find it very hilarious that the preferred weather is clear, even though he spawns during the rain time. So that's interesting, but it is what it is. Either way, man, that is this week's update. I hope that you guys go ahead and enjoy it. I know it's kind of crazy. This is totally off topic, dude, but the particle effect on this rod is so crazy. I mean, on this skin, I don't know why, but I'm literally just like mesmerized by how that looks. Either way, if you enjoyed this video, make sure to drop a like, subscribe to the channel. I will be live as you're watching this video, so feel free to swing by if you want to. That's going to go to there for this video. Like always, I will see you guys in the next one. Take care.